Have you ever wondered what it feels like to truly disappear into the night? Not just to close your eyes, but to let your entire existence melt away like butter on a warm hearth. Tonight, we aren't just telling a story. We are entering the world of Ellery Dagel, whose very breath creates a ripple of peace so thick it can silence a racing mind in seconds. Most people fight for sleep, but Ilara is the sleep. Close your eyes, let go of the day, and prepare to sink into a depth you've never reached before. But be warned, once you enter a golden cathedral of rest, the waking world will feel like nothing more than a faded memory. Let's melt. The silver moonlight didn't just fall into Ilara's room. It seemed to pour, thick and silent, coating the floorboards like liquid silk, while the rest of the world fought the jagged edges of their day. Ilara moved with a fluid grace that suggested she wasn't entirely governed by gravity. She didn't just lie down to sleep, she surrendered to it, her body sinking into the mattress as if it were a warm, shallow pool of cream. Every night, the air around her bed would begin to hum with a low, amber resonance vibration so smooth it could heal a fractured mind. This was the secret of the Girl of Silk, a legend whispered among the restless of the city who claimed that if you stood outside her window, your own racing heart would suddenly find its rhythm again. Ilara's journey into the dreamscape always began at the edge of the gilded woods, where the trees weren't made of bark and leaf, but of spun sugar and frozen light. On this particular night, the air smelled faintly of toasted honey and rain-washed jasmine. As she stepped onto a path that felt like velvet under her bare feet, she noticed something she had never seen before: a trail of golden droplets shimmering against the indigo grass. They looked like melted sunlight, glowing with an inner heat that didn't burn but beckoned. She followed the trail deeper into the heart of the woods, her movements becoming slower and more rhythmic, matching the pulse of the forest itself. The further she walked, the more the world began to soften. The sharp corners of reality melted away, replaced by rounded hills of soft moss and rivers that flowed not with water, but with a substance as rich and golden as clarified butter. This river didn't roar, it purred. Ilara knelt by the bank and dipped her fingers into the stream, feeling a warmth spread from her fingertips to her chest, a sensation of complete and utter safety that wrapped around her like a heavy, weighted blanket. Suddenly, the golden river began to swirl, forming a slow-moving vortex that revealed a hidden staircase carved from ember. Most would have been afraid, but Ilara's sleep was a place of infinite kindness. She descended the stairs, each step muffling the sound of her breath, until she reached a vast underground cathedral made of glowing honeycombs. In the center sat the Sandman's Weaver, a creature of pure starlight, who spent eternity churning the essence of peace into the dreams of the weary. The Weaver looked at Ilara and smiled, handing her a small, translucent pial. Within the vial was the distilled essence of a perfect moment. The feeling of a heavy sweater on a cold day, the smell of bread in the oven, and the silence of a first snowfall. Ilara uncorked the vial, and a mist began to rise, thick and golden, filling the cathedral and rising through the earth until it blanketed the entire world above. As she lay back against the honeycomb walls, the boundaries between her body and the light dissolved. She wasn't just a girl sleeping anymore. She was the warmth in the air, the softness of the pillow, and the slow, steady heartbeat of the night itself. The world outside finally fell silent, caught in the wake of her tranquility, as she drifted into a depth of rest so profound that time itself seemed to pause, waiting for her to finally wake. The silence in that amber cathedral didn't just exist, it braided a rhythmic expansion and contraction that felt like the lungs of the universe slowing down to match Ilara's own pulse. As she floated within the golden mist, she realized that the vial's gift hadn't just brought peace to her, it had opened a doorway to the source of stillness, a place where the friction of the waking world was completely erased. She watched as the weaver's fingers moved through the starlight, pulling threads of heavy, warm silk from the air and weaving them into a canopy that stretched infinitely above her. This wasn't a dream of clouds or height, but a dream of depth, of sinking deeper into a comfort so absolute it felt like being held by the very earth itself. As she drifted further, the walls of the honeycomb cathedral began to ripple and transform, turning into a vast, slow-moving sea of melted gold that stretched toward a horizon of soft violet. Ilara found herself gliding across the surface, not walking but sliding with a frictionless ease, as if the world had become as slick and soothing as warm oil. Small, glowing lanterns, shaped like sleeping lilies, began to bob on the surface of this golden sea, each one carrying a different scent: sandalwood, warm milk, and the earthy musk of ancient forests. Every time she passed a lily, the fragrance washed over her, relaxing muscles she didn't even know she had, turning her limbs into heavy, contented weights that felt perfectly grounded. Far off, in the distance, a low melody began to rise from the depths of the sea, a sound so deep it was felt in the bones rather than heard in the ears. It was the song of the deep sleep, a vibration that acted like a physical touch, smoothing out every jagged thought and every lingering worry from the day. Ilara let her head fall back, her hair fanning out like dark ink in the golden liquid, as the melody wrapped around her like a cocoon. She saw the stars above start to soften, their sharp points rounding off into glowing orbs of soft butterlight that slowly descended toward her, settling on the water like warm pearls. The twist in this realm was that the deeper she sank, the lighter she became. The gravity of her worries had stayed at the surface, undone ere in the heart of the golden sea. She was weightless, yet anchored. She saw other souls drifting nearby, not as people, but as soft, glowing pulses of light, all of them drawn to the warmth of her presence. She was the anchor for their rest, the quiet center of the storm. The golden sea began to writhe, gently folding over her like a heavy velvet quilt, sealing her away in a pocket of time where tomorrow didn't exist and yesterday was a forgotten shadow. In this final layer of the tale, Ilara reached the Palace of the Eternal Sigh, a structure made of frozen moonlight that felt soft to the touch. There were no doors or windows, only archways of mist that led into chambers of pure shadow. She stepped into the deepest chamber, where the air was the exact temperature of a heartbeat. She lay down on a bed made of woven evening shadows, and as she did, the golden sea, the weaver, and the violet horizon all merged into a single point of warmth in her chest. The world was now nothing but a vast, smooth expanse of silence, and as she closed her eyes within the dream, she felt herself finally dissolve into the buttersoft essence of the night, becoming the very peace that the rest of the world was searching for. The final layer of the dream began to settle like a heavy golden dew, sealing the edges of the palace of the eternal sigh, until even the memory of light had vanished. Ilara was no longer a traveler in a distant land. She had become the land itself, a vast landscape of rhythmic breathing and silent pulses. The golden sea that had carried her now turned into a gentle, thick warmth that filled every cell of her being, erasing the very concept of a physical body. There was no more Ilara, no more cathedral, and no more weaver. There was only the pure, unadulterated essence of the night. A stillness so thick and rich that it felt like it could hold up the weight of the entire universe. Outside, in the waking world, the clock on her bedside table ticked with a muffled, distant sound. But inside the cocoon, time had been ground into a fine, sparkling dust that didn't move forward or backward. The heavy velvet quilt of the dream pressed down with a comforting finality, ensuring that not even a single stray thought could pierce the surface of this buttersoft sanctuary. The violet horizon faded into a deep, velvety black, not the darkness of a void, but the darkness of a seed buried deep in fertile soil, safe and perfectly at rest. The low hum of the universe finally reached its perfect pitch, a single, sustained note of peace that vibrated through the core of everything. As the last flicker of the golden lilies dimmed, a sense of total completion washed over the dreamscape. The story of the day had been completely rewritten into a silent poem of shadows, with one final, deep expansion of the night. The world turned inward. The golden mists solidified into a shield of ultimate tranquility, and Ilara sank into the absolute, wordless center of a sleep that would never be broken by the noise of the world again. Everything was soft, everything was still, and finally, everything was exactly as it was meant to be. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your night. May you find deep peace and restful sleep. Wishing you the sweetest dreams. If you liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.